We're going to be talking about job search strategies and how you can more effectively search for your next position, whatever that may be. If you have questions during this broadcast, you can tweet them to @McMasterAlumni, and we will be happy to get to them as they come through. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. And so the first thing I'd like to do tonight is to talk to you about money. I know it might seem strange in a job search webinar to be talking about money, but just bear with me here. So I want you to imagine that you have gone out, done a job, and you've earned, let's say, $100. It's a nice round number, okay? So at the end of the job that you've done, you go to collect your $100, and I give you 20, and I do this to the remaining 80. Why would I do that, right? It seems counterintuitive. There is a point, so just bear with me here. You can always earn more money. So if I burned 80% of what you had just earned, you could go out and you could earn more money, even if that was, cutting grass, babysitting, cleaning houses. Doesn't matter. Even if it's the same jobs that you did as a teenager in high school, those dollars are exactly the same as the dollars I just burned on you, okay? What you can't earn more of is time. Your time is extremely precious, and we want to make sure that you're using it effectively. And so that's why today we're going to be talking about how to be effective with your job search, because your time has value. Whether you're a student, whether you're employed, whether you are in transition and currently looking for your next position, your time has value. It is the one commodity in life that you cannot earn more of. You cannot make more time. You have what you have. So let's use it effectively. So I want to talk to you about the Pareto principle, also called the 80-20 rule. Some of you may have seen this before. Essentially, as you can see from the diagram on your screen, it means that 80% of the work that you do yields only 20% of the results. That's pretty poor, right? What we want to do is we want to flip your job search. So instead of the $80 that you didn't get, we want to make sure that you're getting maximum value for your time. So if we flip that Pareto principle, we're looking at 80% of your results coming from only 20% of your work. What does this mean for your job search? It means that the more effectively you search and the more you go through and cultivate those search strategies that work for you and get rid of the ones that don't, you're going to be getting more benefits faster and more effectively. So let's see how to start that. So step one in a flipped job search, and the first thing we need to do is to know what your career goals are. So if that was your business card, what would you put there? What are your career goals? How would you define yourself or describe yourself if somebody asked you? The first thing you need to do is to know what you're looking for. Whether you're looking to make a career change or you're just stepping out of the gate, it doesn't really matter. If you don't know what you're looking for, no one can help you. And you're going to be spending a lot of time and effort doing things that may or may not yield you any results. It's all very uncertain. And who wants to waste their time on things that are uncertain? We've got enough to do today. We want to focus on making sure that our efforts are going to pay off. So if you're a new graduate or a current student, you're going to want to use the Student Success Center, where you have career support as alumni for up to 10 years after graduation. You'll be able to take a workshop called the Career Planning Group, and that will help you if you're unsure of what you want to do with your next career move. So if you don't know maybe what you want to do with your degree, or maybe you've been in a position for a few years and you're looking to take a different step, or you didn't really like the role that you were in, the Career Planning Group can really help you to solidify your interests, your skills, your aptitudes, and help you to make sense of what that next step might look like. They also have Wednesday drop-in from 1:30 to 4 in Gilmore Hall 110 for young alumni. You can make use of that and get assistance from the alumni career coach and the career counselor. So Carrie Latham is the career counselor and Jillian Perkins Marsh is your alumni career counselor. They can both assist you. And again, Alumni Career Support is available for up to 10 years after graduation. So that also means that if you left Mac and went somewhere else and did a degree, okay, we won't tell, we still love you, but you can definitely use the career support that we have here at McMaster to help you with that next step, because we care about making sure that you are moving forward with your careers. Step 2, after you know what you're looking for in the flipped job search, you want to look at how you're using your time. So this is a typical job search, okay? This is what people tell me all the time. They search the job boards for postings. Who doesn't do this? You get up, you go onto Monster, Career Builder, all of the others, Indeed, Eluda, doesn't matter, Oscar Plus, and you search the job boards for postings. When you finish there, you might go to a few employers and search for more jobs. And then when you finish that, you submit your applications, right? And you feel like, okay, that's a full day's activities. But that is the 20% in terms of results, okay? You're putting in 80% of efforts for very small yield. And the reason for that is that you're reacting to stuff. You're spending a lot of time. What happens if there's no postings? What happens if there's no jobs that week? What happens if you're not qualified for the jobs that you see, or you don't like them? What are you going to do? You've set yourself up to react to job postings, and you have no control in that scenario. And that's part of the reason why doing that kind of a search as the majority of your job search, that strategy is just not effective. You want to use your time wisely. How do you do that? You still want to be looking at the job boards, but here's how we can do it smarter. Automate your searches on the job boards. Did you know that you can set up accounts, tell it what you're looking for? See, that's why stage 1 is so important. You have to know. Find out what you're looking for, and then you can tell that job board to send you an email, and it will tell you when a job matching your criteria comes up. So you can set geographic region, different industries, different types of positions. You can go through as many parameters as you're looking for, and it will tell you when something matching your search criteria comes up. Same thing if you are consistently applying on specific employers' websites. Create your portal and your profile. And go ahead, you do that now, and then you don't have to do that when you're ready to apply for a position you've already taken care of it. So you'll be good to go, and that will also save you time. And for positions, for sites where you are regularly applying for positions, you'll also want to make sure that you've automated all of that as well. So for example, let's say you want to work at McMaster, you can create an alert, and our system will email you and tell you when a job that matches your criteria is ready for you to apply to. And then if you've already created your profile, all you have to do is go in, upload your documents, and you're done. It's a much more effective use of your time. So instead of spending an entire day submitting applications, you can take care of that in a few minutes. And that means you'll be able to focus the majority of your time on the activities that are going to yield you some smart results. So this is the point where everyone thinks that they want to start. Resumes and cover letters. It's not. It's the busy work. And I'm suggesting that you do this as kind of a mid-stage, okay? So after you know what you're looking for and after you have started to automate the system, then you can really look at resumes and cover letters. Now, a word here, okay? You cannot create a cover letter template. You can't do it. It's not going to happen. Every employer and every position requires its own cover letter. But there are parts of cover letters that repeat over and over and over again. So what I'm suggesting is that we come up with a master resume and a master cover letter, okay? So that you can use those pieces that are going to repeat, and that way you'll be able to tweak it for every application, saving you time and making you more effective. How do you do that? Well, you can visit the Student Success Center website, so it's studentsuccess.mcmaster.ca. You can also visit them in Gilmore Hall 110. They have some great resources online and in the office. You can drop by and get the resources anytime. And they will help you to go through and figure out what you need to have on a resume, what with eVisors, our mentors have already agreed to talk to you, so you don't have to wonder why they might. They've already agreed to it. And within the system, it allows them to indicate if they would be willing to provide you with feedback on your resume. So you're all set to go.
Sorry, you gotta stop real quick for some reason. The whole stream just shut down for some reason. Oh, we're good. Sorry.
Okay. So I'm not really sure how much you missed there. So sorry if I'm going to repeat myself, but I just want to make sure that you guys have the information that's on this slide. I know you can read it, so I'll just give you a quick overview. With the master resume, you want to make sure that you have one. A resume that you're going to submit to an employer is only 2 pages long. Okay, even for someone who's been working for as many years as I have, you're still only looking at 2 pages. If you create a master resume in advance of applying for any specific position, it allows you to make sure that you have all the extra bullets and details, and you can get everything critiqued so that you'll be able to pull out the different positions and ideas and points that you want to share with an employer when you're actually writing that resume. So that's one of the reasons why doing a master resume is a great idea. With the cover letter, there's 3 standards parts to a cover letter. You have your opening, you have your examples in the middle, where you also relate that to the employer, and then you have your closing. You can't create a template, but you can have that master document. The Student Success Center can help you with that through alumni counselor, drop-ins, workshops, and resources. And then, of course, as I was saying, eVisors. Okay, so we love this system so much. And yes, Grad Studies has partnered with Alumni on this, but I'm not getting any kickbacks for it. I truly love eVisors. It's a great way for you to connect with people who've already agreed to talk to you. So you don't have to feel like you're bothering someone or that it's awkward. They've already indicated they're willing, and you can go in and search specifically for people who would like to give you feedback on your resume so that you can make sure that when you present that resume in a competition, you're putting your best foot forward. And if you're a grad student who happens to be listening, I haven't forgotten you. In the weekly email, you can see the link to sign up for 1 Week Resume. We have a new group that runs every month. We have Resume Write-In Workshop that will give you facilitated assistance and time to work on your resume. And you also have access to eVisors. So I really encourage making use of it. Okay, step 3 in the flipped job search. So let's imagine that you're looking for a job, okay? And you're working hard and you're trying to make sure that you're making most effective use of your time. Wouldn't things be better if you added another person? Okay, so let's say you tell a friend or a colleague or a coworker or a neighbor or anyone that you're searching for a specific type of position at a specific company. That's great. Now there's 2 of you who know you're looking. What if you tell one more person? Okay, and so now you have 2 additional people who are helping you to find positions. What if each of those people told some of their contacts that you might be looking? That going from just you alone to you plus 10 other people is in fact the power of networking. Okay, so this is now where you're ready. You've got a master resume, so you've got a document that you can circulate. You know what you're looking for. You've automated your searches, so you know the types of positions. Now you can hit the networks hard and you're ready to connect with them. So in terms of effective networking, you want to start by looking at groups where you have a shared connection. So that means family and friends. They're predisposed to want to help you, okay? They already like you and they care about you. They want to see you succeed. So reach out to them first. They're always going to be your first step. Alumni, fantastic. You have that shared experience, and do not underestimate the value of connecting with someone because you went to the same university. They are amazing. Your neighbors, colleagues that you work with at your part-time job, or if you have a job, Well, if you're currently working in job searching, you might not necessarily reach to the person in the cubicle next door and tell them you're looking for something else, but you get my meaning. If you're involved in hobbies and activities, that's another area. So you never know who other people know, because that's just it. It's not always about connecting directly with that person. It's about letting them know that you're looking, and that's how you can really effectively network. Again, I know I'm pushing eVisors. There are other platforms as well, but the difference is that the eVisors people have specifically agreed to talk to you. Okay, so that's part of the reason why I'm encouraging using that. And then if you need to cast a wider net, I am a huge fan, as you may know, of LinkedIn. So you can actually search through the alumni group. Fantastic tool. Okay, so there's a few things I'll share in terms of changes. So if you're not already a member of the alumni group, you're going to want to go to the alumni website and click on the LinkedIn group icon, okay, and that will take you to the group. LinkedIn made some updates in the fall, and they've made it a little more difficult to find things. Once you ask to join, you'll be approved by someone who verifies that you are in fact connected to Mac, and then you'll be able to see all the other people in the group. When you're on the group page, go to members. There's over 10,000 people in the members. It's amazing. Now here's the thing. You can search the group, but you can only search the group by people's names. It used to be that I could search for, let's say, who works at Deloitte & Touche or KPMG, or, since we just had them to campus this week, Boston Consulting Group. But you can't do that anymore. So if I wanted to do that, if I wanted to search by a particular employer, because maybe I know who I want to work for, I would go to advanced search. I would search for that employer, and I would limit my search results to the alumni group. I would make note of those names, and then I could go back and search through the alumni group. Why go to that trouble? Because there will be a little envelope icon that will open up on that screen, allowing you to send a message directly to that alumni contact, even though you don't know them. Pretty cool. All right, more effective networking. You want to target preferred employers, industries, or career paths. So if you're not really sure about networking, maybe you've never done an informational interview, job shadow, or anything else, what I'm going to encourage you to do is to make sure that you're looking for those things that you want. Okay, so remember in stage 1 of the flip job search, know what you're looking for. That's going to pay off here. So if you know the types of positions you're looking for, the employers, the industries, that's a great starting point. So that's where you want to start looking for your contacts to speak to. The next thing you want to do is make sure you've done your research. So you know what those organizations do, or you have a good idea of the career if that's what you're connecting with someone about. Just make sure that you've done your homework. It's a sign of respect, and it's also going to save you from wasting your valuable time when you're connecting with someone for maybe a precious half an hour conversation. You want to make sure you're getting the most out of that time. Do your homework in advance. So for instance, if I go back to Boston Consulting Group, I might already know that they have a hiring cycle for new grads. So that means the intakes happen in July. That's when applications are due. And then the hiring happens in late summer, early fall, and you don't start until the following year. Okay, so that would mean that if I wanted to work for such an organization, I would want to do my homework now. And of course, you can take advantage of workshops in the Student Success Center on networking and job search strategies that will help you to be most effective in connecting. They also run a number of initiatives like Job Shadow Week and other programs. So I encourage you to take advantage of those for all of you who are young alumni. And for grad studies, we have a number of workshops. So if you're a current grad student, we haven't left you out. So we have workshops like Top 5 LinkedIn Networking Strategies, Networking for Introverts, and then we also have networking events where we connect you with our mentors. So keep an eye out for those. You'll see them in your weekly email. Remember, when you're connecting and you have that precious amount of time, that short time that you are getting to spend with a mentor, that you want to be prepared to ask those good questions. So you don't want to ask them, what do you do? You should already know that. You should have done your research. What you do want to ask them would be questions like, how did you go from, finishing your degree and getting your first job? How did you get your job with this organization? What are your strongest skills? What are the types of things that you do on a daily basis? And you can take the conversation from there. So there are examples of great questions on the Student Success Center website. And as well, there's a website called Quintessential Careers, and they have a list of over 200 questions that you might want to consider when you're looking at preparing for an informational interview. Now, here's the tricky part. People fail to do this. You need to maintain the relationship. So with eVisors, you're not necessarily exchanging your real email address. Maybe you will if you hit it off, but you don't necessarily have that ongoing contact. With email, LinkedIn, or anything else, you should have a way to stay in touch. Mentors want to know what happens. It's like closing a book before you finish the last chapter. How did it turn out? And this is the part where mentees, our students, job seekers, young alumni, often forget to follow up. You don't want to lose that contact. Besides that fact, you might not need them now, or maybe their organization can't help you right now, but 6 months from now, they have the perfect job. If you follow up with them and maintain that relationship, they're much more likely to help you because they're invested in you, and they'll be there for you to go back and ask those follow-up questions and build that relationship. So to recap, you want to start by defining your career goals, okay? So that's your first step, and you definitely want to make sure that you are clear on what you're looking for. You might do some informational interviews and networking and find out you don't really want to do that. That's okay. That's perfectly fine. A few years ago, I investigated consulting as a career, and I did several informational interviews. I had great leads. I could have transitioned into the field. But you know what? After a few informational interviews, I found out I didn't really want to do that. So it's just as helpful to learn what you don't want to do as what you do want to do. So never be afraid if you have to go back and rethink that. The next thing you want to do is make sure that you have automated the search process. You're not spending your day on that website because if you remember, people hire people, computers don't. So spend the majority of your time with other people who can help you get that job. Make sure that you go through your resume, cover letter, and I sort of mentioned, but not quite, your LinkedIn profile. Those are all going to help you to be ready for that next position and to help you automate your application process and attract the right attention. And finally, you must network, even if you hate it, even if you're an introvert. I'm a big introvert, but I have over 700 people in my LinkedIn network, and I've met them all, either in person or online, because I don't add strangers into my network. It's just a rule. But you want to make sure that you are using the strategies that work best for you. And so that's what we've got this evening. If you have any questions, you can feel free to email me at maybrecr@mcmaster.ca, and I will be happy to answer them. So let's take a quick look at our Twitter feed here and see if we've had any questions come in. I don't believe we have, but we'll just take a quick look. No. Okay. So, quick and easy. That is our job search strategy session for this evening. We thank you all for joining us, and we'll look forward to seeing you at the next Alumni Academy.